Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. I don't know why he would, I got to be honest, I don't know why he would be defending this teacher and even asking that. He's actually like defending all the people that she had a problem with. What up? It's your boy Trent Out Loud and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Thursday. One more day to the weekend. What up? Yo, I'm excited, man. I love Thursdays. All right, I got a good show set up for you guys today. I got two lead stories. Amanda Seales and Shannon Sharpe are breaking the internet. Stay tuned. Trust me, I'm going to dissect the parts that I've watched and the parts that have hit the internet. It's a wild interview, as Shannon Sharpe likes to do. And then our other lead story, the airlines are now going to have to pay you if they delay their flight or cancel their flight. Stay tuned for that information for people who fly a lot. Then we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about a message that the Tik Tok CEO has for Budden. The baby and Joe Budden and Adam22 are beefing. Then in speed news, we got Yeezy and Gucci Mane. And then we got question of the day and sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn on your TVs, your radios, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. The Department of Transportation announces that airlines are now required to automatically give cash refunds to passengers for canceled and significantly delayed flights. All right, just to be clear here, I think this is the Department of Transportation in the US. To my Canadian viewers or anybody else around the world, I'm not sure this pertains to us, but I definitely know this applies to Americans. Normally, if it happens in America, it will definitely start happening for the rest of the world. But let me read to you a little bit about this, and then I'll let you know my take. Today, the Department of Transportation announced that it is rolling out new rules that will require airlines to automatically give cash refunds to passengers for canceled and significantly delayed flights. Before today, airlines could decide how long a delay must be before issuing refunds. These new rules define significant delay standards that will result in a refund without the passenger having to do anything. Okay, that is key here. The delays covered would be more than 3 hours for a domestic flight and more than 6 hours for an international flight. The Department of Transportation will also require airlines to give cash refunds if your bags are lost and not delivered within 24 hours. I'm sorry, and not delivered within 12 hours. All right, I like this. Okay, I don't like the 6 hours for international, but I could live with that. I like the 3 hour for domestic. Where was I going? I think I was going to Florida. Yeah, I was going to Florida in December. Oh yeah, it was for Art Basel. And I had plans on Friday night. I was leaving Friday. My flight was at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I had plans. I had dinners. I had stuff set up at night. And I didn't end up getting into Miami, getting into my hotel room till like midnight. My whole day was scrapped. I had meetings set up. I had dinners. I had things to do at night. Oh my gosh, I was so mad. And you know what the thing was is that there was, it was a crew. Sorry. It was a crew problem that there was somebody missing and they couldn't fly without this crew member, and then they couldn't find another crew member. And then it was delays after delays, and I got nothing. Like, I wasted my hotel room because, I mean, yes, I know I slept there that night, but I got there at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock. It was a waste. I would have just rather to get there Saturday. I couldn't do anything Friday, and the airline didn't give me anything. And I'm the type of person that will call, fight, blah, 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 but something wrong with my phone bill or any bill or whatever. The airline didn't give me anything. So this is why I wanted to start out with this lead story, because I detest how airlines are allowed to get away with these things. And I feel like they're egregious. And they cancel, they delay, they just do whatever they want. And, oh, it's the weather. It's beautiful outside. Oh, it's the weather. And I do understand, because my cousin is actually a pilot, and he does tell me that, yes, it could be beautiful here in Montreal or wherever you're flying out, but somewhere along the way. And I get it. I don't want to, get into an accident or have the plane come down or whatever. I get it. And I'm sure sometimes it is justified, but I know there's a lot of times where it's egregious. The plane is not full or doing whatever. Anyways, I'm very, very, very happy about this. And like I said, I know this applies to the Department of Transportation in the US. I really hope that Canada and the rest of the world adopt this because these airlines are just lethal. Another thing before I close out this story, because they were touching on the baggage. If you guys are ever traveling, put air tags in your bag so that if it ever gets lost and they're like, oh, we don't know where it is, you could air tag it and be like, yo, it's actually in Philadelphia or it's in friggin' wherever it is. You know, my sister taught me that. She has 4 kids and her kids travel for hockey. And, you know, guys know how expensive hockey equipment is. So she always puts her air tag in the kid's bag. So I started doing that now and it's beautiful. Anyways, let me know if you guys have any like crazy airline stories, how you feel about this. Send me an email, trendoutloud@cfqr600.com, or comment below this video, or send me a direct message at any of my social handles, Trent Out Loud. All right, in our second lead story, Amanda Seales opens up about being on the spectrum, racism she experienced as a child, and more in her recent interview with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay. When they say and more, they mean a lot more. Like, I literally have like 4 or 5 headlines. Like, I got it before I even get into the story. I gotta salute Shannon Sharpe. For all my loyal listeners out there, you guys know how much I love Shannon Sharpe. I always tell you guys to watch all his interviews. He does great interviews. They're in-depth. They're 3 hours long, most of them 2 to 3 hours long. He goes in and really gets into the mind of the person he's interviewing. It's always a good interview, and he always has great guests. And when I saw he had Amanda on, I was like, okay, because if you guys don't know who Amanda Seales are, she was on who Amanda Seales is. She was on Insecure. Shout out to Issa Rae. And she's a comedian. She's an advocate for rights. People say she's for Black and minority rights, but she's an advocate for human rights. She goes in. She has her views on Israel and Palestine and just everything. And because she has such strong views, a lot of people, she's very polarizing to a lot of people. A lot of people love her, but also a lot of people do not like her. So when I heard that she was on Shannon Sharpe, I was like, yo. And even the preview was like, he wanted to go and shake her hand. And she's like, nope, I'm not shaking your hand. I only shake hands of the people who I know are my people. And she's like, I've heard the things he said about me. And he said, here, this is how it began. And then the end of the interview, he's like, and this is how it ended. And they hugged. So I just know that the interview, they went in. I haven't watched the whole thing. It's like I said, it's 3 hours long. I watched maybe about 20 minutes. But I did grab some headlines from online that I will read to you. And then I think I have a couple of clips to play for you. So the first one is, here, what do I say now? So the first one is Amanda Seales shares a few words about Emmanuel Acho in response to his gender-neutral and racially indifferent take on Angel Reese's emotional post-game interview following her loss to LSU game. I covered this in one of my lead stories on the podcast, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But here is what Amanda had to say about Emmanuel. Take a listen.
She is a young person. Do you know how disgusting that is? And that cornball who loves to make himself look like he's the white people's savior. Emmanuel Acho.
Emmanuel Acho. It's hilarious. I wish I could play y'all the whole thing. I will put the clips that I have on my Instagram. As you guys know, I can't put it up on YouTube. They will take it down. But anyway, she goes in on him. All right, what's the next thing I have here? Okay, here's the second thing. This is actually an argument that Amanda and Shannon got into during the interview. So trust me, she didn't only just go at people, she went at Shannon. So the headline is, Shannon tries to explain his perspective on children correcting adults. He asked Amanda, do you think Amanda said something about a child correcting an adult. So he said, do you think she would have felt, the adult who is offended, do you think the adult would have felt equally offended if a white child would have corrected her? Because Amanda was saying the only reason why this adult didn't like the child questioning her is because it was a Black child. And Shannon was like, well, what if it was a white child? Shannon actually got some backlash for that. We'll talk about that in Speed News. But here is what Amanda had to say.
She is calling them Stone Age people. And I, as a black girl, the only black girl in her class, am correcting her. I guess my question to you is, why do you even feel compelled at this juncture in this interview
because I'm not defending.
So you heard that she asked, like, why do you feel like in the interview now to be defending her? And then he just goes on to say, well, most adults feel like a child should not be questioning them. So anyways, again, I'll post the whole thing up. You definitely have to listen to it. All right. What else did Amanda do? All right, here's another headline. Amanda Seales left speechless after Shannon Sharpe seemingly brushes off kids being racist towards her as, listen, kids are just going to be kids. Take a listen to the clip.
I was in the situation at Disney. I was there as the only black girl. I was called an N-word while I was there. You're just here because you're black, so don't get any ideas. So that's what I'm being told by the other children. Does that suffice as racist to you, or would you want to call it something else? Is that just kids being mean?
The kids.
She literally stops for about 10 seconds, puts her head to the side, and she's like, Lord. Like, she is left speechless. It's hilarious. All right, what else do I have here? All right, I have 3 more headlines. I don't have any more clips. Amanda Seales says she disagrees that Issa Rae is empowering towards women. She didn't feel like I deserve to be protected. Like I said, I can't put up. Actually, do I have a little clip of this? No. Okay, no. So I don't have a clip of this because my video is gonna get pulled down if I keep on putting all of Shannon's clips in there. But that's actually a really good clip too, where she describes. Let me see if I remember. She said that. Because somebody was like, "Hey, Issa is known for protecting women on the set of Insecure, and there was always a bunch of women on the camera and behind the scenes or whatever." And she's like, "She wasn't like that to me." So, and I always felt like I wanted to protect Issa, but she didn't protect me, so I'm not protecting her, and she didn't empower me, so I don't feel like she's empowering towards women. I don't know how anybody else felt, but that's not how I felt. So it's just hilarious. And then the last thing I have, oh no, that's it. That's all I have. So. I thought it was like a really good interview, like what I said, from what I saw, but I can't fully comment because I have to watch the whole thing and get more context. So I will put this out now. I'll try to watch the whole thing and on Friday's episode, give you guys my full take on it. But if you guys want to join me in watching it tonight, go to Shannon Sharpe on YouTube. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, subscribe to Shannon Sharpe. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Trend Out Loud podcast. Go over. Don't even watch the clips. Watch the full interview, man. I know it's going to be a dope interview. From what I saw so far, it's really good. Check out Shannon Sharpe, Club Shay Shay. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. President Biden officially signs law threatening to ban TikTok. And the CEO responded, we are confident, the CEO of TikTok, by the way, responded and said, we are confident and we will keep fighting for our rights in the courts. I have a little video of the CEO, and then I'll read you the story. Take a listen.
Congress passed a bill that the president signed into law that is designed to ban TikTok in the United States. Make no mistake, this is a ban on TikTok and a ban on you and your voice.
So that's a 2-minute long video. He's just trying to say that they're trying to ban you. They're trying to ban your voice. That's a play from Donald Trump's rule book. Just so you guys don't get confused out there. Well, 2 things that I want to clarify. One of the things is that they're not trying to silence people's voices and freedom of expression. It's that there's people on the board at ByteDance that are part of the Chinese government, and they could be using your phone to spy on you and get things from Americans to use against us during war. And if something were to happen and you guys would have been like, oh, why you guys didn't do anything? So I agree with this, that I don't want ByteDance to be having our information, and they're part of the Chinese government. Okay. So that's one thing. I agree with this. And the second thing is that it's not a ban. He's also trying to say that. It's saying, we want to keep it, but ByteDance, sell it to somebody else. Sell it to an American company, sell it whatever. Some people are like, oh, this is just a way for them to control or whatever, but whatever. The research that I've done, I like it. And by the way, this is bipartisan. It's not just Republican or Democrat. It's bipartisan. My fault is that why did they wait so long for 170 million people to download and use it? They should have known this when it came over here before they put it in the App Store, to know that it was owned by the Chinese government and they could use it to be spying on us. Like, give me a break. Do better, Congress. I'll read to you a little bit of the story and then we'll move on. Hold on. Oh, I don't have a story. Perfect. Oh, no, I do. Hold on. Here it is. Late Tuesday, the Senate passed a bill that would force TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, to sell or face being banned. Wednesday morning, President Biden officially signed the law, which not only threatens the app's ban, but also provides aid to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. According to CNBC, the law requires ByteDance to sell TikTok within 9 months or within a year. That doesn't make sense. Within 9 months or within a year, if Biden invokes the 30-day extension. Oh, that makes sense. I shouldn't have commented. I should have just kept reading. So it's 9 months, and then Biden could give them an extension and give them 90 days. I'm assuming that if they see like there's probably an agreement, if they're making moves to buy or sell, then he could give them an extension to continue up to a year. They will face a nationwide ban if the app is not sold. So just to be clear, this is in law. A lot of people were confused, like, oh, I thought this happened before. I thought that for laws to pass, it has to pass in the House, it has to pass in the Senate, and then Biden has to sign it. When Biden signs it, it comes into law. So it's not maybe or maybe not or whatever. It is actual law now. And the law is they have to sell. ByteDance has to sell to a non-Chinese company. I think it's non-Chinese. I think it can even be Canadian. I don't think it has to be American, but just non-Chinese, or it will face ban. So it's in law. TikTok CEO posted a video response on Wednesday and said, make no mistake, this is a ban on TikTok and a ban on you and your voice. Politicians may say otherwise, but don't get confused. This is not a ban on you. This is not a ban on your voice. Okay, I totally disagree with him. The CEO continued, it's actually ironic because the freedom of expression on TikTok reflects the same American values that make the United States a beacon of freedom. TikTok gives everyday Americans a powerful way to be seen and to be heard. Yo, give me a break, because you could be seen and heard on a million other places. YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and they're not owned by the Chinese government. So give me a break. I really don't like this guy and how he's trying to, play like Donald Trump and like, oh, I'm just doing this for you, the American people. Give me a break, all right? All right, in our second speed story, the baby says that he turned down a rapper's request to participate in a fake beef for publicity. Yo, it's exactly what I've been saying for the entire week. I feel like any rapper, any R&B artist now that's coming out, well, especially rapper, that's coming out with a song, you got to call somebody and be like, yo, what's up, man? You want to beef? All right, okay, cool, let's beef. I don't mean anything by it, but yo, all the blogs are going to pick it up. And the baby is coming out and saying that somebody did. Here's a little clip. As you guys know, I can't play the whole thing, but here's a little clip. Listen to what he has to say.
I got a call, I won't say from who. He say, the back and forth between J. Cole and Kendrick got me fired up. I feel like we should diss each other. I feel like it'll just go crazy and yada, yada, yada.
So he said that this happened right before, 2 days before J. Cole apologized. And he was like, yo, I see what's going on with Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. Like, yo, let's do something like this, and let's start beefing, and I have something I want to release. And he said it was a lyrical rapper that we would all know. So it wasn't to say where it's like some unknown rapper or whatever. This is somebody who's already solidified. So he also said that he sent him a text message. You know how everything is now, like, show your receipts. The baby could just be like making this up to be, he's on a podcast to be making headlines. I don't know. Show the text message as proof. Tell us who the rapper is. But I do believe things like this go on, so I believe what he's saying. All right, in our third quick story, talking about beef, Joe Budden reacts to Adam 22 going to his home strip club and says he will beat the ish out of him. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, I can't believe I have to explain this. So Adam 22 and Joe Budden are beefing. For those of you who didn't see the podcast when I talked about this, Adam 22 put out like a poll and said, who's the big three in hip hop media? Because everyone's talking about the big three because of J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake, right? And then, so Adam said, who's the big three? Is it him, Vlad, and Academics? And then Academics agreed with him. And then oh my God. And then Adam texts Drake. I was like, yo, do you agree with us? We all think that it's me, Academics, and Vlad are the two biggest hip hop media outlets. And Drake, who is not best friends with Joe Budden, was like, nah, I don't agree with you. I think Joe Budden has to be in there and you have to take Vlad out. And it's actually Joe, Adam, and academics. And then Adam was like, yo, I can't believe he actually put Joe Budden in there. He's even like Joe Budden. But y'all know Drake is real and he's just going to tell you what it is. Anyways, so they've been going back and forth because of that. And then apparently Adam went to Joe Budden's favorite strip club. Apparently Joe was there like every week. I think it's Starlet's in New York. So anyway, so Joe was on this podcast, was like, yo, Adam is actually really out here trying to test me. And he actually really showed up to where I'm at all the time. And apparently like Adam was up in the strip club with his feet up on the table and was not taunting Joe. He didn't say anything about Joe, but yo, that's you guys are in beef and you're like in this guy's territory. And the headline is Joe Budden's home strip club. Like everybody knows that Joe goes there. He talks about it all the time. Anyway, so then the people on his podcast was like, yo, how do you feel about this? Like, yo, I feel like that's disrespectful. And then Joe said this.
Adam, this is too much of a prime time broadcast for us to dedicate any more time to you. All you need to know is I will beat the absolute dog out of you if it ever came to it. We just in content war, so there's no need for that.
I like that he said, yo, we're just in content war, so there's no need for that. But yo, you know, Joe is street and he will not play. And I think Adam, anyways, let me not even get into that. Yo, let me just leave it at that. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Joe. Yeah, I'm on Joe's side on this one. All right, this brings us to speed news. Ring my bell. Shannon Sharpe is receiving backlash for his Amanda Seales interview. The two disagreed about a racial experience Amanda had with a teacher when she was a child. And Shannon also accidentally called Amanda's mom white. All right, so we talked about this a little bit earlier, and I told you that in Speed News I was going to talk to you about the backlash. So, yes, everybody's talking about Amanda Seales and all the things that she's talking about. But the other side is people are really turning against Shannon for this interview and saying that he's actually like defending all the people that she had a problem with. Why are you defending the teacher? This is a teacher that she was like in elementary school. Why are you being the voice for her teacher? There was a kid that said something to her and he was like, kids are just going to be kids. It's like, why are you, during her interview, like, why are you saying these things? So he's getting a lot of backlash. I'll read to you some comments. They're actually pretty harsh, man. It's my boy, yo. I love Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is in this Amanda Seales interview working defense for the oppressor. Amanda's telling a story about a racist teacher in Florida in the 80s, and Shannon is wholeheartedly doing a why it gotta be racist. Maybe the teacher would have done the same thing to a white kid. And then she wrote, shaking my head. Somebody else wrote, Shannon be a little bit out of his depth with some of these interviews. Somebody else wrote this. I'm going to make this huge statement. Shannon Sharpe just ain't smart enough to be entangling in profound dialogue with people like Amanda Seales. He flourishes better with athletes, Z-listers, and influencers. Even in Kat and Monique's interview, he was devaluing their pain. Okay, I totally disagree with that. He was not devaluing any of their pain. He was totally siding with Monique. Monique even asked him, said, look in the interview and tell Oprah and Tyler Perry they should talk to me. And he looked in the cameras like, you guys need to sit down with Monique. She's hurting. She's in pain. And she said, thank you. So you want to say what he did about the Amanda Seales interview? Fine, but let's not go that far back. All right, I'll read one last one to you. Feel how you want to feel about Amanda Seales, but he ain't equipped to interview her. Props to her for staying, to be honest. Wow. So, like I said in lead stories, I haven't watched the whole thing. I'm not going to draw conclusions. I'm a big Shannon Sharpe fan. I don't know why he would, I got to be honest, I don't know why he would be defending this teacher and even asking that. I mean, you're interviewing. It's not like you're on a panel and you guys are all equal. Like she's on your show. You're the interviewer and she's the interviewee. I don't know why you would challenge that. And if it's like one time, then why are you going to go and challenge the kid? I don't know. Doesn't seem like Shannon, but I need more context and I'll fill you guys in later. All right. In our second speed story, Kanye West is releasing Yeezy porn and he has been consulting with Stoney Daniels. All right, it all makes sense now. All right, so Kanye posted up yesterday, I think around 6, 7 o'clock on his website. Here, I'll play it for you. Just listen. This is what he posted.
Go to Yeezy.com.
All right, go to Yeezy.com. And then in the video, it says 4/24/24, which was yesterday. And he says, Yeezy porn is coming, and spelt it not COMING. Okay. I'm going to keep it PG for kids, but you adults understand how he spelt coming. Okay. Not the proper way. So then I was like, hold on a second. I'm like, let me go. I really doubt there's any porn over on his website. I go over there. There's nothing on the website. You guys can go right now. I'm sure that there's probably no pornography there at all. And it's all his clothing. If you guys remember, I think it was 2 podcasts ago when Kanye put out, yes, it was on Monday's podcast. When Kanye put out his diss track, I was like, yo, this is so weird. Like, Kanye doesn't just do things for no reason. Like, why is he just jumping on this Like That remix and just throwing himself in this? And I'm like, whatever. Sometimes he's a little erratic and he's doing things for attention. But like I said to a couple of podcasts ago, Kanye West, whenever he's doing something, he always goes back to music. He goes back to music. Then the next thing he goes to is his wife. Before his present wife, it was Kim Kardashian. Before that, it was Amber Rose. Before that, it was Julia Fox. Then he tries to sell us something. So, and that's his MO. That's how he goes. He goes back to his origin. It's music, then a woman, and then he sells us something. And it was truly this. It was getting on the Like That remix, Kanye West music. Then you heard about his wife being sexually harassed at a restaurant, and then he punched the guy out. That was a headline. And now it's go to Yeezy.com, and he puts porn in there for us to go, and there's no sort of porn there at all. He is selling his pod socks. He is selling his clothes. It's all at a low price. When he did the commercial for Super Bowl, he came out and disclosed that they sold, I think it was like $9 million, or it was like the commercial was $9 million. Sorry, the commercial was $9 million, but the sales he had in 24 hours from the $9 million commercial spot was like $30 million. Don't hold me to those numbers, but it's something like that. Yo, Kanye, hate him or love him, he is a master marketing genius. You know how many people he got to go to Yeezy.com? He didn't get me to buy anything, but you know how many people were probably went there and was like, oh, this t-shirt is dope. Oh, Yeezy pods used to be $200. Now they're only $20. This guy is, the marketing, he's crazy, man. Like I said, like him or love it. And I always like the cover to just explain you guys the theory. Not saying his anti-Semitic remarks or his anti-black remarks, any of that stuff. Take that all away from him. From business-wise, this guy is good, man. All right, in our third and final speed story, Gucci Mane refers to Diddy and Yung Miami in his new song, Take That. Some of the lyrics are, got a Yung Miami B-word from the city, rock, pissy, yellow diamonds, no Diddy. So if you guys know about Yung Miami and Young Carisha, you know where the line is, got pissy, yellow diamonds. You know what it's about. For those of you who know. For those of you who don't know, you got to do your own research. This is a PG-13 podcast, and I cannot tell you about pissy, yellow diamonds. But the joke is that the whole track, I have a little bit of a track. I'll play a little bit for you, but it's just the fact that No Diddy now is taking over Pause. And you guys, I'm sure, know the Pause game now. Whenever you say anything that's sex related or homosexual, say, yo, pause. Whoa, bro, pause, and so now the new thing is No Diddy, because Diddy has been seen with men and people are like, whatever. So like, no Diddy. So, and every time somebody says it, like on TV, it's like, oh my gosh, somebody actually said No Diddy, because it's actually like, it hasn't caught on yet. It's literally just a couple of months, and like the real insiders people know about it, and it's not as common as to say like Pause. So this is the first hip hop song that's actually using No Diddy. Take a listen.
I rock pissy yellow diamonds, no Diddy, but you can't be underage, no Diddy.
And the joke about it is that people are afraid of Diddy because of all like, they allegedly burnt Kid Cudi's car. He allegedly had something to do with Kim Porter's death. He allegedly had something to do with Andre Harrell's death. He allegedly had to do something with blah, 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 blah. And a lot of people are, quote unquote, afraid to say stuff about him. And then Gucci comes out with a song totally saying everything. And it's like, yo, no Diddy, no Diddy. Because Gucci don't give a crap about nobody. Like, can't nobody talk to Gucci, man. So, yo, shout out to Gucci for being gangster and doing whatever the hell he wants to do in this music industry. If there's one person out here who ain't afraid of Diddy, it's Gucci Mane. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Okay, I got to make this quick because I'm running low on time. How long is too long to date someone before making it exclusive? I think we've done this before, but it's kind of fun. And y'all love to talk about relationships. So, Pretty Exotic said, stop allowing situationships to happen. It only benefits the man. What? Yo, I completely disagree with that. Yo, man, I love situationships, and they equally benefit both people involved. We're all adults. So I vehemently disagree with that. Somebody said, my therapist told me to give them N-words a year, and that's just what I'm going to do. Get to know them on all seasons, literally, and not figuratively. I think a year is fair. Somebody said, after 3 months, you gotta be my man. After 2 years, we getting married. Men know from day one how they intend on dealing with you. Don't let them play you. Don't let them play you in your face, ladies. Men always get such a bad rap. Somebody said 7 months is way too long to be dating anybody. What's the holdup? You should know within 90 days if the person is worth your time. Let me just go back to the question. To make it exclusive. Okay, it's not to say if like you're getting married or whatever, to make it exclusive. Yeah, I agree. Somebody said everyone is different, but be careful about jumping into something too soon. Love bombing is real, so make sure you have a large enough sample size of that person's character, and that you truly align outside of the butterflies. I don't know what that means. Truly align outside the butterflies. Whatever. Looking back on it all, 7+ months in a situationship is just perfect. And I'll read one last one. Please, not something about men. Somebody said, man, everybody has different preferences, timing, and views on things. There's no right or wrong answer. Whatever works best for you and your partner. I like that. Somebody said, if you can't decide within the first 2 dates, I'm out. Okay, so we have a wide spectrum. I agree that everybody should make their own decisions. Like, you cannot put a human being into a box. I 100% agree with that. But to be exclusive with someone, to be exclusive with someone, it shouldn't really take much. If you like somebody after a date or two, it's not saying like moving in with somebody or, to be exclusive. Yeah. 3 dates. 3 dates is going to be my answer. All right. I got to move on. Let's go to sports news. All right. This brings us to sports news. Reggie Bush has his Heisman Trophy returned. Okay. I really love this. I'll read the story quickly to you guys. Reggie Bush was forced to forfeit his Heisman Trophy during his NCAA sanction against USC after it was determined that he received lavish gifts as an NCAA athlete, which was a violation at the time. Now, more than a decade later, he will now be reunited with his trophy. According to ESPN, on Wednesday, the Heisman Trust will announce the formal reinstatement of the trophy to Reggie. The decision was made amid what they call enormous changes in college football landscape. The president of the Heisman Trophy Trust said, "We are thrilled to welcome Reggie Bush back to the Heisman family in recognition of his collegiate accomplishments. We consider the enormous changes in college athletics over the last several years in deciding that now is the right time to reinstate the trophy to Reggie. We're so happy to welcome him back." Reggie Bush also expressed his excitement, saying, "Personally, I'm thrilled to reunite with my fellow Heisman winners and be part of the storied legacy of the Heisman Trophy, and I'm honored to return to the Heisman family. I look forward to working together with the Heisman Trust to advocate the values and mission of the organization. Now that his trophy will be reinstated, Reggie will be invited back to future Heisman Trophy ceremonies, and the USC will receive a replica of the trophy." So there's a lot of people who are like, yo, you don't even take it back. Yo, they did you dirty. I like that he took his approach, took it back, and is working back with the Heisman Trophy family. Salute to Reggie, and I think they did the right thing of returning back his trophy. I was watching on First Take, and one thing that Stephen A. Smith said that was really important, because at the time, because on the flip side, people were like, hey, at the time, it was illegal, so he should have lost his trophy. But what Stephen A. Smith said was that, yes, it was not legal at the time, but all the coaches and all the schools were taking everything, and the kids weren't taking anything. So if you want to say, like, maybe penalize him or give him a fine or give him whatever, but to rip him of the Heisman Trophy, that was wrong. So although he did do something wrong that was illegal at the time or against the code of conduct, they think that taking the trophy away was too severe. Maybe, hey, give back the money or give him a fine or something. So taking away his Heisman Trophy was wrong. To do that, it's accolades. You have to run a certain amount of yards, be the best, do this or whatever. So his accolades should not have affected what he did off the court. So there you have it. There's both sides and everything. All right, that is the show. Thanks for kicking it with me. I hope you liked the show. I thought it was a good show, actually. I kind of like this show. For those of you who are following me or watching the show on YouTube or podcast platforms, please try to check me out on CFQR600.com weekdays from 11 to 12. We do this podcast, but we infuse it with 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. It's a good vibe, and it's a good way if you're at work, working from home, to just get you through the day. It's right halfway through your day. It's a good vibe. It's a good break from the monotony. On the flip side, for those of you who are listening to this on CFQR600.com anywhere in the world, or 600 a.m. in the Montreal area, let's say you got a meeting, you're busy, you can't always catch it on the radio from 11 to 12. Just know you could always catch the show on demand on YouTube or on podcast platforms. Just go to any of the sites and type in the search menu, Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. You click play. You can watch it on demand at any time. Thanks for kicking it with me. I will see you tomorrow. It's Friday tomorrow, y'all. The weekend is here, man. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.